Hey everyone, Coach Curtis Phelan here. Good morning. Just got back from my fasted prayer walk. That's what we call it. Fasted beach prayer walk. That's a combination. When a prospect says, so business coaches, right? When a prospect says your price is too high, they're not telling you your price is wrong, okay? They're telling you they do not yet see enough value. Those are two completely different problems with two completely different solutions. If you lower your price every time someone says it's too expensive, you're solving the wrong problem for them, right? It's all you always want to sell from service, right? You always want to serve. You're not trying to close or get something from someone. Okay, you shouldn't be. Okay, you should be trying to help someone get what they want. Okay, that's what selling should be about. So what you're doing when you lower your price, you're treating a perception problem like a math problem, and you'll keep lowering your prices and wondering why you're working harder for less money. Okay, so I've been coaching business owners for over 26 years now. I started, if you don't know, I started as one of the founding coaches for Tony Robbins. Okay, it was just a few of us. I shared an office with Josh Robbins and Becky Robbins. And I'll tell you, that's not to brag or boast. It's just to express to you how long I've been doing this. And I started probably at the highest level, meaning I learned from the greatest coaches that I've ever experienced. People that started this industry, right? Tony Robbins took the term from sports, brought it into the personal professional world, and grew it as, I don't think it would be as big as today if Tony hadn't made it so popular. Um, and so, one of the, I would say, the most expensive mistakes I see coaches make, right? I've coached well over 500 business owners, well over 500 coaches, and the most expensive mistake I see both make is responding to price objections by discounting. Okay, so today I'm going to show you what to do instead. Okay, so let me explain the psychology of a price objection. When your prospect says your price is too high, they're not lying. Okay, from their perspective, right? In that moment, it genuinely feels too high to them, but not because the number, right, is mathematically wrong. It's because the value they have perceived in what you're offering, right, does not yet justify this level of investment from them. So think about it this way. $1,000 feels expensive for this t-shirt that I'm wearing, right? Now, you don't know how much it costs, but $1,000 seems pretty high for a t-shirt, right? You don't know anything about this t-shirt. If I said, well, I'm selling this t-shirt for $1,000, you'd be like, that's just nuts, right? It does not feel expensive, though, for a business coaching program that generates $50,000 in new revenue, okay, for your business or for your coaching business, right? The number is irrelevant. The perceived return on that number is everything. Let me say that again. The perceived return on that number is everything. Okay? And this relates to all businesses. If you're a realtor, right? It's not it's not the number of the home, right? The price of the home. It's the exclusivity of the property. It's the way that property, what will it do for your family, right? There was a home, if you've been watching any of my videos, it's just a little further down the beach. It's the second most expensive home sold in the United States, $250 million. It's several homes on that property. But the reason someone would buy a property like that, and the reason it was built, okay, is because that family, okay, they flew their whole family to this exclusive tip of this area, which is basically an island, in this area here, because there's a couple bridges to get over here. So basically, to spend quality time where whole families on the compound, they get to spend family quality time. They fly in from all over and they spend that time every year at that home. So what's that worth to them, right? Anyways, you get the idea. So when a prospect says it's too expensive, they're actually saying three things, okay? Either they do not understand specifically what they're getting, right? It's not clear, okay? Or they do not believe the result is achievable for them specifically, okay? Or number three, they do not trust you yet enough to bet on your promise, okay? So one of the things I do, I don't sell anymore. I show. I literally show the business owner the numbers, and I just ask them, would you like my help getting this number? It's not made up. I have software. It shows them, we go through questions. We do an assessment on their business, and it literally shows them how much more profit they should be putting in their pocket while working less and without spending more money on marketing and advertising. If you're a business coach and you want that system, let me know. I'll show you. Send over a video to walk you through it, okay? So none of those problems that we just mentioned are solved by lowering your price. Not one of them, okay? Actually, it will do the reverse effect. You'll get ill results if you lower your price, especially in coaching. They're solved by better communication, stronger proof, and a deeper connection earlier in the conversation. So let me say that again. Let me go back through those, okay? When a prospect says it's too expensive, what they're actually saying is one of three things. Either they don't understand specifically. Trust is the third one, right? Either they don't understand specifically what they're getting from you, or they don't believe the result is achievable for them, right? Specifically, right? Or they don't trust you yet enough to invest in you or buy into the promise or bet on the promise that you've given them, okay? None of those are solved by lowering your price, okay? They're solved by better communication, stronger proof, okay, and a deeper connection built between the two of you earlier in the conversation, before the sales conversation even happens. That's why when a lot of salespeople teach like rapport and things like that, and that's okay. But I used to do that too. But if you have better communication, the rapport is just natural. When you build the trust, the rapport is just natural. Things like that. It's kind of advanced. But here's the framework I use to turn price objections into closed deals without discounting. Okay. Step one: acknowledge and redirect. When a prospect says it's too expensive, do not defend your price and do not lower it. Okay. Instead, say something like this: I hear you. Something I learned not too long ago was, I get it. I get it. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, right? In a nice way. I hear you. That will stop someone from rambling on, right? I hear you. I get it. I hear you, right? Sometimes I say it 2 or 3 times when they're like rambling on, right? Can I ask, too expensive compared to what? I've been using this. Tony Robbins taught me this almost 30 years ago, right? Too expensive compared to what, right? Or what did you expect the investment to look like? What did you expect the investment to look like, right? You get that a lot, like, oh, it's too expensive, and I'm like, oh, I hear you. I get it. I get it. Just curious, what did you expect the investment to look like today? Okay. Now, this question, it does 2 things. It removes the emotion from the objection, and it turns it into information, right? We want to remove the emotion from the objection, and we want to turn it into just information. So it's a logical decision, right? And what it does is it reveals which of the 3 real problems that you're dealing with. You need to clarify, which problem are we dealing with here, right? You can't just throw I'm just going to lower my price thing and see if it works, okay? is it, do they not understand what they're getting? Do you fully understand this? Do you grasp the impact of this, right? Or do they not believe in the result? Do they not believe that they can achieve this result, right? Or is it a trust issue? Do they not trust you? One of those, usually, okay? Now, step two is you need to reframe the cost versus the cost of not acting, right? Ask them what it costs them every month to not have the result your program delivers, okay? If you're helping coaches get clients and they currently have none or maybe just a couple, ask how much revenue they're losing each month by not solving these problems, right? The investment in your program suddenly looks very different next to 6 months of lost revenue. Like, okay, so if we keep doing what you're doing, where are you going to be in 6 months, right? I always start with, well, what have you been dealing with? What's been going on the last 6 months or the last year? What's that costing you? How's that showing up? How's that affecting you? All these things, right? And then we future pace it, right? What would that look like in another 6 months? Where will you be? Oh, I'll be out of business. I probably have to go get a job out here. Well, okay, well, why don't you just do that? Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, why not? Oh, right. So then they're like selling themselves, right? They're sometimes you have to just help people understand, like really, because our brains survival mechanism is to avoid things and block things out and not really look at what's going on. Okay, so sometimes we need to, not sometimes, we usually always have to help someone really truly understand the impact that their daily decisions are making in their life. Okay, so step three is you need to break down the guarantee. If you offer a guarantee, you need to break it down. Most prospects who cite price are really, they're citing risk. Okay, they're not sure what happens if the result does not materialize. Right? They're not, that's uncertainty, and a confused mind will not buy. Okay, so when you clearly articulate your guarantee or your refund policy, your commitment to their success, you're removing risk, not changing price. And removing risk closes deals that discounting never would. Okay, so in a couple of weeks, I'm running a gosh, I got to check the date. Yeah, I think 2 weeks. I'm running a workshop, and I'll include sales conversations in there, but I'm going to walk you through the exact framework I use to handle all four of these most common objections up front without lowering prices. Sometimes I even increase the price, right? Without being pushy, without manipulation, without losing deals that you should be winning. Okay, so if you want to learn this framework, I'm going to put it in there. Let me see. Let's just drop the word sales. Yeah, just drop the word sales or DM me sales, and I'll me or my team will send you the link to register for my upcoming workshop, where I'm going to teach you the framework on how to show a business owner how to double their profit in their business without spending any additional money on marketing or advertising. So let me break it down to you like this real quick. If I could show you, let's say a business owner is putting, I don't know, $200,000 to $300,000 a year in their pocket, maybe more. Okay, net profit, and you show them how to put twice that amount in their business without spending any additional money on marketing or advertising. I know that sounds crazy, but what if you could show them it? Literally show them, not tell them or explain it to them, but do an assessment on their business using our software and show them where the money's leaking, if they fix this, and this, and usually it's only very minute, maybe 2 to 3% increases in multiple areas of their business. Typically, you're going to double the profit in their business without them spending any additional money. And if you could show a business owner that's doing $2, $3, maybe even $400,000 a year how to put twice that amount in their pocket without working harder, it's a real simple sale. I just ask them, would you like my help getting this money? Real simple. So if you like that, drop sales. Thanks for watching, guys. And you have a blessed day. We'll see you again soon.